Saturn in the 12th house is a placement which is usually considered to be good, because anytime that Saturn is in the Dushtana houses, which is the 6th, 8th or 12th house, it is considered to be good, because they say that malefic planets in malefic houses generally do better, and Saturn in particular is said to do pretty good when it is placed in the 6th, 8th or the 12th house. However, Saturn in the 12th is not an easy placement. Overall, it may be a good placement eventually as you learn how to align your energies with what Saturn wants you to do. But early on in life, this can be really one of those placements where the native can have a very dysfunctional relationship with risk, a very dysfunctional relationship with matters of letting go, isolation, addictions, mental health issues, spending habits, their relationship with spirituality, their imagination. Because see, Saturn teaches you unlike any other planet. Saturn teaches you by closing doors. Saturn teaches you by forcing you into circumstances where you need to marshal your resources smartly to make the best out of even a bad situation and come to the top. So when Saturn's in the 12th house, the majority of challenges and opportunities that you grow through in life are going to have to do with letting things go, let's say, and moving to foreign lands. Working in a great job, in a great position. Maybe you could be like a lawyer or an accountant, but you're isolated to yourself. You're working long hours on your own, and it's quite isolating. Or Saturn in 12th house you will quite often see politicians with displacement. Very prominent politicians you will see have often Saturn in the 12th. Why? Because 12th house is also secret affairs. Saturn in the 12th can quite often have to do with there being a lot of karma associated for the individual in dealing with secret dealings, in dealing with secrets, in dealing with curbing, expenditure as well. So Saturn in 12th house, although is a great placement in the long run, because it teaches you the true meaning of spirituality, it teaches you the true meaning of letting things go, teaches you the true meaning of getting out of your comfort zone and taking risks in the way that you really need to, and understanding that at the end of it, at the end of it all, you don't regret the chances that you took as much as you regret the chances that you didn't take. That's the biggest learning here with this placement, because whenever Saturn's in the 12th house, the native can grow up quite often with a suppressed imagination, or a background, or a family environment, or a condition in which they were growing up where they really were not able to come out and do their best. So this usually is the placement of an individual who watches things from a distance first before they want to get involved. And this can quite often create circumstances where these individuals take a very long time to finally realize what their spiritual purpose is in life. Quite often they just go with the flow because they don't really feel that much of a connection with respect to the spiritual realm early on, or they feel too much of it. There's no balance associated with it. Okay, and at the same time, Saturn in 12th can create a placement where a situation in your life where you don't really have that much privacy to yourself. You don't really have that much, early on at least, room or space to grow for yourself. You could be maybe growing up in a joint family, or you could be growing up with lots of siblings, or you could be let's say in an institution where you had to share your room with a lot of roommates, classmates, or a situation like this. Okay, but one of the most important things that individuals with Saturn in 12th house in terms of their life purpose and destiny are meant to realize, it is to realize the importance of giving their efforts to things that they care most about. Saturn in 12th house people are the people who will rather be a friend who's there for you than a friend who gives you the money to get you out of trouble. That's kind of the mentality that they may have. Saturn in 12th house will also be quite often a friend who will be great as a friend, but when you want a special discount, if you go to this guy's store, or if you want a special discount with respect to their service, even if they do something, they can have the mentality that if you're good at something, never do it for free. So there's a very practical association with respect to all matters of letting go, contribution, even charity. Okay, because Saturn in 12th house people, quite often they have to deal with having to release and having to let go of so much of their dreams, their vision for life, their ambitions, quite often, that when they are in the same situation with others, they're not really going to help you out that easily. This is a person who will ensure, even if they have to take care of somebody or take care of, let's say, a community project, they're going to ensure, by being in the shadows, by being in the background, that are things going according to plan, are things happening properly. But when actually the occasion comes for them to take action, they will probably be the last person to really initiate action. Saturn 12th house often creates an individual, often creates a life path, it often creates a kind of destiny for the person, where anytime that they are dominantly after the things that they want to be, anytime that they are on point with respect to things, they're out in the public, they're proactive with respect to things, they may tend to not really get the results that they seek. So these people learn to take their time with things. They learn to be patient with things. Quite often that can create a scenario where these people can tend to be too patient, as in stuck in their comfort zone. Okay, but since it's Saturn, ultimately through a lot of hard work, through a lot of realization of what the true nature, what the highest experience, what the highest energy of any kind of contribution is, once they realize that, then you will see these individuals actually come out and contribute a lot to society, contribute a lot to their community, contribute a lot to, in fact, their near and dear ones. But it takes time for these individuals to actually understand, actually uncover what is it that is special about me that can enable me to give freely. Like, what is it that is special about me that can enable me to live a life on my own terms? This is one of the biggest mysteries to Saturn and 12th house people early on in life. They can have a lot of skills, but they can not really completely figure out, like, okay, I mean, I still have to work too much with it. Like, how can I do something that lets me just be my own person? Why? Because Saturn 12th house people, quite often, even if they try to maintain regular jobs, even if they try to maintain, let's say, a regular 9 to 5, regular opportunity like everybody else, no matter how much they do it or try to do it in their best way, they will always encounter situations where they're not able to do it. For example, they get a great job, they get a great opportunity, but they're working nights. And now working nights is something which is isolating, and they're working, let's say, associated with the foreign lands at nights, right? Doing the night shift. Okay. Or this can be a situation where they had a great job, they had a great gig, they had a great opportunity, and suddenly that company got sold and the policies changed, and now that job is no longer fun. Okay. So if you have Saturn in the 12th house and your life purpose and destiny is not clear to you, life's not really working out for you, the biggest advice that I'm going to give you is that you have to tap into this karma that you brought with respect to the 12th house, which is what? Which is spending time with yourself, by yourself. Now, since there's Saturn there, spending time with yourself, by yourself, doing what? Improving yourself. One of the biggest things that Saturn and 12th house people have brought with their soul in this lifetime, one of the biggest lessons, one of the biggest aspirations that your soul has come into this material world with is wanting to be by yourself, working on the things that you want to work on. So if you have Saturn in the 12th house and you're trying to fit in, do the things that everybody else is doing, and you may be very good at what you do, but you still aren't able to understand, why the hell doesn't it happen for me? Why can't I catch a break? Why do I feel like a slave? It's because you're not taking the time that you need to take to work on yourself. And it can be quite possible that you've tried working on yourself in many different ways. But many times with Saturn in 12th house, people's lives, what happens is you've worked hard only to regain ground that you lost as a result of you being careless. I'm really sorry, I'm being brutal here, but it's important, like tapping into this energy, right? So, for example, you can have Saturn in the 12th house and you lost a lot of weight and now you look really fit. But when I look at your life, you were fit to begin with. Then you became careless and you started drinking and you started getting into all kinds of unhealthy habits, and then you got fat. So essentially what you've achieved over the course of that time is letting yourself go, getting completely out of shape, and then coming back into shape. And now you're thinking like, I've done the work, why the hell are things still not working out for me? Because here's the thing, it's Saturn. So with Saturn, realism is more important than anything else. If you've only regained the ground that you lost, unless you want to keep going in that direction, unless now with this newfound understanding, you want to completely going on into fitness and teaching people how to lose weight, how to live healthy, you will not be able to keep up this momentum. You will not be able to turn it into a winning streak. Because Saturn in the 12th house is massively about karma that you give out to the world coming back to you. The 12th house, think of it like a boomerang. Now, the nature of the planet that is in the 12th house defines the efficacy of that kind of boomerang, okay? Jupiter in 12th house, what you give comes back to you, okay? Now, if you have Saturn in the 12th house, it takes you a lot of time to actually understand what are the skills, what are the gifts, what are the abilities that you need to give to others, like offer to your family, your friends at work, and what are the skills, what are the abilities that you need to keep for yourself and pour into you. Once again, you will not have this realization unless you take the time to withdraw. Maybe, pursue a course outside your country. Go away from the geographical location that you've spent most of your life in. Things like this. Taking spiritual retreats. Now, it's quite possible that with Saturn in 12, spiritual retreat is something that doesn't appeal to you at all. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Spiritual retreats? Well, you could try something else, like go take backpacking trips, or participate in some kind of a trek or some kind of a long distance race or something of that sort, just for the experience. Don't push yourself to, clock a certain speed if you participate in a 5K or 10K or, half marathon. Just tell yourself, okay, I just want to participate and I want to complete it. If you go to a spiritual retreat, you don't have to be present for all of the sessions. Just tell yourself, okay, this is a goal that I'm setting for myself, that I see myself completing. Look, with Saturn 12th, what happens is that 12th house is your visualization. It's also your sleep. Okay. And so it can be quite possible that you don't really properly see the vision that you have with respect to life, or if you see it, you see problems more than the opportunities that are available to you. The only way that you can make this energy work out for you is if you consciously make an effort to get out of your comfort zone and explore things for the heck of it, and just say, okay, you know what, I commit to trying this. I'm gonna be out of my comfort zone this year and I'm gonna try these things. Okay, don't go overboard with it. Make a plan. And if you make plans like this, they are very likely to come true. They're very likely to actually, surprise you with respect to the abilities you have and the qualities that you have. Okay? But one of the most important things that you need to realize with Saturn in the 12th house is that life is a fine balance in holding on and letting go. There are going to be things that you work hard for that you don't get in life, and you have to realize when it's time to walk away. And there are going to be things in life that you will feel that you didn't really deserve, but you did, because you stuck out for them, because you held out for them. And so you just have to observe, where am I winning? And that is going to reveal to you what your hidden talents are. Because with Saturn in the 12th, your biggest talent that probably even you are not aware of is that you're a very logical person, is that you have a very good understanding of how to manage things behind the scenes, is actually also that you're a smart worker. You work hard, but you also know how to work smart with Saturn in the 12th. Now, you have to utilize these skills to uncover what hidden abilities or qualities you have that you can give to the world, that you can offer to the world in a way that solves problems, and in the process, makes you rich. So you can retire on that farm that you sometimes think about, so that you can go live the life that you want, being independently wealthy and not being dependent on gathering a paycheck on a regular basis. And you can completely achieve financial independence. But it's not going to happen through penny pinching. 12th house, Saturn 12th house people can quite often be penny pinchers, by the way. I'm sorry, but that can be the case. Why? Because from the third aspect, this Saturn in the 12th is also looking at the second house of savings, okay, of values of speech as well. These people can quite often have a lot of karma associated with savings and their family as well. From the seventh aspect, it looks at the sixth house, okay, and from the 10th aspect, it looks at the ninth house. So quite a bit of the learnings of this individual and the way that they can usher in prosperity into their life, it revolves around them making, building and maintaining functional relationships even with people that they are in conflict with, and learning how to handle conflict within relationships. These can be quite often, that's why you will often see politicians, leaders. You will see, in fact, very successful people with Saturn in 12th house placements. You will see a lot of entertainers as well. Okay, why is that? Because 12th house, if you're an entertainer, if you're a film star, if you're an actor, what do? You work on a set, you create that set, you work on an identity, you work on a personality. That goes on for 1 year, maybe 2 years, 3 years, and then it's back up. Okay, so if you have Saturn in the 12th house, working in a way that you can distance yourself from being too attached with things, such as working as a contractor, working as a freelancer, working as a professional, like an accountant, like a lawyer, like an activist, okay, like a consultant, like a coach. All of those things can work out wonderfully for you, because the biggest thing that you're here to do, Saturn 12th house people, you're here to give. The purpose of life is to find your gift. The meaning of life is to give it away. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post here. Push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. And please do consider becoming a member of this channel. That way you support us, you support our content, and that's about it. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Take care. Hari Om.